Here's an example of coral stitch with a bead. I'm going to show first how to make coral stitch without a bead, and then I'll show how to add the bead. So this is the basic coral stitch where I've done it in a size 5 pearl cotton, and so I'm using a 22 chenille needle. So to begin it, I'm going to do it in a little bit of a curved line, and the line is just a handy reference point. I'm coming in about 1/4 of an inch up, and I'm stitching away from me in this, or you can say bottom to top. So I'm just taking a little bite this way into the fabric, and then I'm simply going to wrap the thread around the tip of the needle, and then I pull it through. And you'll see how when you snug it up, it makes, look, this little, just a natural kind of beaded effect. So we'll do another one. Go in about 1/4 of an inch, take the little bite, wrap it around right to left under the needle, pull the needle through, snug it up, and it stands up with its little bead. Take the bite, and you can see that's a little bit bigger bite, wrap it around. Oops, sorry about that. There's the wrap. The needle comes through, etc. And you can see that that naturally just gives a nice, slightly beaded texture to an edge, and it's very well suited to a curved edge. It just naturally hugs around the edge of a shape. So I'm going to use some size 11 seed beads that I have here in my tray, and I've got some 24 weight silk. It's a soie perlée, and then I have to use a needle that I can get the thread through, but that I can also fit through the beads. And so this is the size 11 short darner. If you find it difficult to thread that needle, it can be a bit challenging even with a needle threader. You can also use 2 strands of embroidery floss, but you just can't go up to something thicker like a size 8 pearl cotton with this, because it's not going to go through the bead. That size needle won't go through the bead. So before I make my stitch, I just pick up a bead. Now you can leave the bead on the needle, but if it slips down a little bit, it shouldn't really be a problem as long as it doesn't slip forward. Okay, so here comes the bite, and you can see when I'm taking this bite of fabric, I'm taking a little bit of it on the background, and a little bit of it is going to go into the applique. I'm going to wrap it around. Now you see where my bead is. So I'm making the same stitch, but my bead is going to be trapped on there. And so now when I snug it up, the bead, see how there's the hole of the bead? It's going to turn up on its end a little bit. And you can take more or less of a bite into the applique versus the fabric. You can see you're going to get different effects and different amounts of thread showing. Okay, so there's that same wrap over the needle, right to left. The bead is still back there on the needle. I pull it through, and oh, of course I got a knot in this as I was trying to pull it through. There we go. We rescued it, and it makes just a very nice textured effect, and it's quite simple and quick to do. Once you know how to do the coral stitch, it's easy to add the bead.